Hello and welcome everyone tonight. This is Robert Blackman, and tonight I want to go over some training on how I sponsor one new person a day. And I think it's going to be some training that you'll definitely like, and I want to make sure that you take some notes tonight.
You are now muted.
And as you're taking notes, I want you to start applying what I'm talking about tonight to what you do with your daily, weekly, and monthly activity. And, you know, the biggest frustration that I used to have in the business is I'd go a whole 30 days and not sponsor one person. And I started out like most people have, where I go out and I talk to people who I already knew. So I did what the traditional people call warm marketing. So I did that. I found myself after about 90 days of doing that, I had about 4 people that joined the business, and I had 1 customer. Within 6 months, all those people had quit. And so I found myself in a position of how am I going to build the business? What am I going to do? So I created an online system. Something that I think that you're going to see tonight that will definitely help you build your business. Some important stats in network marketing to know is this: the majority do nothing. Unfortunately, that's just the reality, and you have to prepare for that. If you're going to treat this business as a significant part-time income or even a full-time income, you have to realize that the majority of people that will be in your organization will do absolutely nothing month in and month out. That's just a reality. The reason why is because most of them are part-time. Most of them have come into your program for $1,000 or below. They haven't spent $100,000 or $1 million on a franchise. So it's pretty much easy come, easy go, and unless they can get into the profit in the first 90 days or see some kind of a result, they will usually get discouraged and do nothing from that point forward. Now, the minority, they learn duplication, and duplication is one of those words that's thrown around a lot by everyone as far as what they're seeing is happening in their group, and everyone's out there trying to teach duplication. And I think a lot of people get that wrong, because duplication, in my opinion, is something anyone can do. It doesn't matter what your age is, doesn't matter what your background is, if you have any experience or not. You should be able to, the first day that you're in your business, whatever business that is, you should be able to duplicate the person who got you into it. Doesn't matter what it is. Now, that comes up to some components of what we call warm marketing. The most duplicatable method out there is family, friends, and meetings. But yet the majority of people won't do that. Remember point number 1, the majority do nothing. Even if somebody sits down and makes a list of 100 to 300 names, the majority of them will never contact them. Okay, so that's the first way to contact people, and that's people that you know. So I'm a big proponent that there's only 2 types of people that you'll ever contact, and you want to write this down. There's only 2 types of people that you'll ever contact: people that you know in warm marketing, people that you don't know yet in cold marketing. What's a cold market? Cold market is where you basically are generating a lead, either through an advertisement, you're purchasing leads, you're running ads online, in magazines. In the old days, we used to do that through card decks, and you're generating an interest from someone that says, send me more information. Now, what we have found over the years, when we did ad co-ops, someone would pay $100 per share for an ad co-op, 58% of those people never opened up their leads. So they spent $100, but they never opened their leads. And that just baffled me. Because, you know what, it went back to point number 1. The majority do what? They do nothing. So we found that not only did the majority do nothing, we found that 58%, when we emailed them their leads and said, here's the file, go open it, here's some hot leads, they never contacted them. And we also found that 95% of the people who got our leads in the co-op never called anyone. 95% never called anyone. So you're seeing why duplication, number 2, why it's in the minority. The minority have to learn duplication in order to stay into the business. Now, we've created a system that loaded the leads, that wrote the emails for people, that sends the emails, and notifies you of a hot lead. And what we found is that this is a system that is duplicatable. And this is a system that you can use for any program that you're involved with today, whether it's an affiliate marketing program or a network marketing program. I've got a chiropractor that's a client of mine that gets leads. He needs leads locally, so we go on Facebook, we go on Google, and we've written campaigns for him to target people who are doing keyword searches on chiropractor. Same way with our profit leads. we're doing keywords all over the U.S., all over the world for people who are looking for money, looking for a home-based business. That's how we generate our leads. Now, the question I want to ask you tonight, where are you right now money-wise? So to make more money, you have to do the math. And, and I love programs that are very emotionally driven, and I think that's great. But I think one of the problems about emotionally driven plans is after the emotion and all of the hype wears off in 30, 60, 90 days, what are you left with? You're left with a monthly bill, a new bill that you now have to go out and generate new income to go overcome it. So to make more money, you have to start knowing how to do the math. And tonight I'm going to show you the math. You have to start making new contacts, period. That's it. A quick question for you tonight, and it's a silly question, but it's going to start your mind thinking. If we were able to tonight, let's say that somebody at Washington, D.C. in Congress called you tonight and said, look, we come up and we found some extra budget in the postal office. Lord knows they could use it. Well, let's say they came up and said, hey, we found some free postage. And we've also got a printer over here. We found some free printing. And we're going to allow you to mail every single household in the United States one postcard. And you have until Friday to come up with the ad copy and send it to us. And we'll mail that postcard to you free of charge. Now, let me ask you a question. If you were able to mail over 250 million people a postcard, you think you'd sign somebody up in your program? Well, absolutely. You'd probably sign up 25,000 people without even having to do anything. You could set up an automated system that would run people through toll-free numbers, websites, autoresponders, and so on and so on. So that's a very extreme case about making contacts. But the reason why I find most people, when I'm coaching with them, that they're failing, that they're not making the kind of money they think they deserve, is they're saying to themselves, man, this thing isn't working, so I'm going to have to do something else. Well, what I'm finding out through coaching is I say, how many presentations did you make last month? 0. How many people did you contact? Well, maybe 2 or 3. So you have to start making contacts, period. You also have to stop waiting for change. Change is not going to happen unless you change. Thinking about building your business is not change. Dreaming about it. I'm a big believer in the law of attraction. But once somebody comes to you, you have to know how to take care of them. So the law of attraction and dreaming only do so much to bring the business to you, but you've got to know how to do something with it. So stop waiting for change. You have to change tonight if you want things to change. Here we are saying the first week of February in 2012. I have no idea if you're listening to this or those who are alive right now, what your life was like in February of 2011, 1 year ago. Where was your income a year ago? Was it higher than it is right now? Was it lower than it is right now? Well, the great thing about the past is that it does not equal the next 12 months for you. You can go back and look at it. You can become impressed by it. You can be depressed by it. I know there's several years to where I said, hey, boy, the last year was depressing as heck. And other times like, man, if I could just do half what I did last year, it would be incredible. So what you have the ability to do tonight is you have to change if you want things to change over the next 12 months. And it simply comes back to point number 2. You have to start making new contacts each and every month, and so does your downline. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, $100 extra a week will get your attention, and it'll get the attention of your organization. Just $100 a week, $400 a month. $195 extra a week will change your thoughts, your thought patterns. $975 extra a week changes your actions. That's almost $1,000 a week. And $2,500 a week changes your life forever. So these are the things that if you will start making your contacts now, $100, $250, $1,000, $2,500 a week extra. You see how it gets your attention, how it changes your thoughts, how it changes your actions, and how it will change your life forever. And I will guarantee you, when I started hitting $2,500 extra a week, it did change my life forever. It changed my actions and my thoughts. And that's what I want to show you how to do tonight. Now, what I ask a lot of coaching clients, I ask a lot of network marketing presidents, is when they're saying, hey, we need to build our business, and I'll say, well, okay, we'll talk about your meeting business, your warm marketing. That's a whole other training. We get that through, and we come through the internet part of it, and I'll just say, what's your conversion rate? 99 out of 100 clients say, I don't know. At ProfitLeads.com, just as an example, we have a 28% conversion rate. I track the numbers. So that means for out of every 100 people that visit the website and opt in, 28 of them join. That's phenomenal. The industry average is 1 to 3%, or 1 to 3 people. Why the big difference, Robert? Very simple. We have a $9.95 entry point for those people that are just looking for leads, and they don't know, like, or trust us yet. We're not a warm lead. We're a cold vendor. We're not a warm vendor. They don't know who we are yet. And that's the reason people say, well, why do you run this trial all the time? And I go, because it's a great way of getting business in. And they go, well, don't you lose money on the first order? And I go, yes, I do. But that's okay, because it brings us more sales than money than we lose. And we've tested that. And if it didn't work, we wouldn't be doing it. So 2 reasons why we have a 28% conversion rate. Number 1 is a $9.95 entry point. And number 2 is we have a $15.45 pay plan for those who want to refer others and get their leads for free. Profit Leads solves problems. Whatever website you have, whatever your product or service is, it needs to solve a problem. And what are the problems most people have? They need leads. They need more people to talk to. And I say this every single week. If you've got too many leads, or you think you do, you have miscounted, because there's no way that you have too many people to talk to. If you do, you need to start sharing those with your downline and your upline and getting those people contacting those folks by phone or by email or by snail mail, so you don't have too many leads. Number 2, you need training. You need to know what to say and what to do, so that way you get people in the marketing funnel, you talk to them, and you handle them in the best efficient manner. So I had to get trained to get a 28% conversion rate. When I first started my website, I was less than 0.5% conversion rate. So I got trained. Who did I get trained by? Some of the best industry giants out there of the Internet, because I wanted to merge network marketing with Internet marketing, and at that time, back in 2002, nobody was doing it but me. So lastly, you need an autoresponder. The reason why you need an autoresponder is because what I said early on, 95% of the people that we know who actually open up their leads never make a phone call. So an autoresponder is a way to generate a lead and send you an email that somebody's interested to go. Now, here's our compensation plan over at Profit Leads. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I want to let you know it's a one-page compensation plan. It allows you to go out and change your life with a 60% commissions on the first 2 levels. The maximum that you have to spend is $99.95, and you can see how you can advance through the different pin levels. And you can see down the 5%, we have a generational bonus that starts on level 3, and that goes through 4 generations. Basically, and you see the qualifications of 2,500 BV to get the first generation. That's basically 25 people. To get to a second generation, that's 50 people on your first 2 levels. Third generation is 75 people on your first 2 levels, and the fourth is 100 people on your first 2 levels. I'm going to show you a way tonight that if you're not involved with us, or even if you are right now and you're on the trial, how you can jump all the way, leapfrog over bronze, silver, and gold, and all the way become qualified as a diamond tonight for a special promotion we're doing. Here is the ugliest pay plan chart or demonstration I've ever done, and yet it is the most successful. The reason why is because I did this off Microsoft Word, and I did it in 15 minutes, and I did this a couple of years ago. It shows everyone that I talk to every single day how to make $780 a month with just 20 customers. The reason why this works is because every single person can do what? You're looking at this right now. What are you saying? I can do that. Either consciously or subconsciously, you're looking at this and you can now grasp it. You're now able to put a certain dollar amount to your business to the number of people that come in. Folks, that's how I sponsor one person every single day of the business. And some days like today, I put in 2 people. Sunday, I didn't put anybody in. Saturday, I put in 3 people. Saturday and Sunday, I took off. Okay? So the automation is working for me because I have a website and I have income calculators and I have autoresponders that go out that show people, hey, here's how much money you're going to make with X number of people. 99% of all network marketing companies don't do that, because if they showed you a chart like this, it would be about $60 to $100, and you'd have a cardiac arrest. You'd go, hey, I'm spending $100 and I'm making $50 after 20 people. That's not worth my time and effort. That's why most companies won't show you this type of chart, because it doesn't benefit them, because they realize you've got to get 100, 500, 1,000 customers and distributors for you to start making some significant money. I created Profit Leads not to compete with whatever program you're in. I created it to where that way I put most of the commissions on the first 2 levels so you could get your money back quickly. So that way you could get into profit quickly and you would duplicate. Remember what I said about duplication earlier on in the presentation tonight. It had to be something that anyone can do. Anyone can do this business. Anyone can do it. And here's the proof. Go out and find 4 people and help them get 4. That's a group of 20. Doing the math. I said that earlier tonight. If you're going to start changing your income, you've got to start learning how to do the math. Folks, I don't convince anybody of anything. I don't twist anybody's arm. If you gave me an objection right now, I probably wouldn't even really have a great comeback. I would just go back into the plan and I show the math. I let the math sell for me. Because if these numbers don't excite you to take action and spend $9.95, then the timing isn't right for you today. But you know what? Tomorrow it might be. Next week, next month, when you get that paycheck. When tax time comes up April 15th, you're going to go, holy cow, I've got to start making some more money. So that's why I told you have to start learning the math. I show you how, okay, $780 a month. You showed me on this other chart over here, Robert, with 20 customers. So when I'm doing my presentations, I say, here's the chart. And they're going to say, okay, and I'll ask my prospect, do you see yourself doing this? Can you see yourself getting 20 people? And there'll be a pause. They'll go, well, yeah. And I'll say, what time frame do you think you could do that in? I've had people say I could do it in an hour. Other people say I could do it in 20 years, okay, a range. That gives you, when you ask someone a question like that, it gives you an immediate reaction to what their belief level is. It kind of tells you where they are, doesn't it? If someone says, yeah, I could do that in 20 years, then you know they're not really a go-getter. Their belief level of themselves is way down. But if someone says, hey, I think I could do that in 20 days, then you got yourself a go-getter. So I ask that question, can you see yourself doing that, number one? And number two, what time frame do you think you can do that in? Then I'll go, okay, now let's go do the math together. And I show them level one, 4 people times $100 equals $400 in sales. We pay 15% of all of those sales, 100% DV. That pays you $60. But those 4 just duplicate you. 16 people on your second level times $100 is $1,600 a month in sales on your second level times 45%. That's $720. The total, 60 plus 720 equals $780 a month. And I'll ask someone, I'll stop right there and I go, is that something that you would really like to have in the next 30, 60, 90 days, an extra $780 a month? And everybody says yes. The only people that say no is they go, I want another zero and then that. I want $7,800. So you see how I sponsor one person a day? Is I get people involved in the math. And I'm asking them these poignant questions during the presentation. And I'm not selling them. I'm not spinning them. I'm not overhyped. I'm just going through the math like I would with my son, who's 15, on a math lesson. I read the question, and we do the math. Okay, so what's $780 a month worth? A whopping $374,400 in the bank if you had a 2.5% interest-bearing CD. How do I figure that? You take $780 a month times 12 months. That's $93.60 a year. You see, $780 looks better than $93.60 a year, doesn't it? Because if I said $93.60 a year, you're going to go, that's less than $1,000 a month. That's nothing. But if I say $780 a month, there's a lot of people on this call that will say, well, that's a weekly paycheck. That's an extra paycheck, maybe 2 paychecks a month. Talk to a gal today, so that's, Robert, that's my take-home pay is about $800 every 2 weeks. I say, great, let's double your month. So then I take $93.60, I divide that by 2.5% CD, and that's where I come up with the number. So when I tell someone, go out and work with me to build a group of 20, it's as if you have $374,400 in the bank on a CD at 2.5%. Because whether the bank sends you the $780 or Profit Lead sends you the $780, you don't really care, do you? No, you don't, as long as the check clears, right? So that's why I like to equate this with the real world. The real world is when you're sitting at a stoplight, and if your town's like my town, there seems to be a bank at every corner. And you're sitting at a stoplight, and you're always seeing the bank saying something about mortgage rates. But every year, whether it's one day or 1 month, they'll put up, our CD rate is X. And I know you've seen a sign like that, haven't you? Yeah, you've seen a sign like that. So if you could find 2.5%, you'd be lucky today. And so here's what I did is I went to bankrate.com and I looked up the CDs averages from overnight. A 6-month CD is 0.46%. That's less than 0.5%. So at 0.4%, you'd have to have $2 million in the bank. Now, a 1-year CD is a whopping 0.79%, still less than 1%. You got to have $1.1 million in the bank. A 5-year CD, if you're willing to commit your money for 5 years, that's 1.71%, still less than 2%. You'd have to have $547,368 in the bank at 1.7% to yield you $93.60 a year or $780 a month. And that's a 5-year CD. So the way I look at this business is you're going to be building with me when you build a group of 20, either $300,000 value or $500,000 value business with me. So that puts it in a different perspective for you not to get frustrated and want to quit every day, every week, every month. Okay? That's what keeps you in. That's what's going to keep your organization in. Okay. Again, I'm showing you the math, and I'm giving you a game plan. I want you to follow the steps I'm doing, because if you're in another program, you can apply these same steps to whatever program you're in. Doesn't matter what it is. And I'm educating you. I'm showing you the math. And after I show you the math, what am I doing? I'm giving you a time frame to achieve the game plan. How to get to $780 a month in just 30 days. Sponsor 4 people in the next 15 days. Now you've got 4 people on your first level. Teach those 4 to do the same over the next 15 days. You've now got 16 people on your second level. You're now making $780 a month after just 30 days of getting just 4 people in 15 days, and your downline duplicating you. And there I show the percentages again. Now, that's a fast track, what I call 30 days, and I've had people do it in 1 day. But 30 days is pretty salty. That's pretty good. That means you've got an existing group of contacts, or you're just really someone who's aggressive and needs that money, and you're going to go out and do it. Now, how to get to $780 in 60 days? Very simple. Sponsor 1 person a week for the next 4 weeks. That's 4 people in a month. You've now got 4 people on your first level. Teach those 4 to do the same over the next 4 weeks. You've now got 16 people on your second level. You're now making what? $780 a month after just 8 weeks in the business of getting 1 a week, and your downline getting 1 a week. Again, I show the math. 780 at 2.5% is like $374,000. 780 at 1.7% is like $547,000 a bank. So it's worth sticking with something for 60 days. If I was going to say, hey, if you go to work with me, make so many phone calls, sponsor so many people, I'm going to put $500,000 in the bank in your name at 1.7% for the next 5 years. What would you do? You go, okay, where's the phone? Where's the people? Where's the script? Let's go to work. It's the same thing, folks. All right, how to get to $780 in 8 months. You see, I did 30 days and I did 60 days. When I'm talking to people, they get a little nervous. Hey, he's expecting me to do this in a month? No, let's do it in the next 8 months. To sponsor 1 person a month for 4 months. And I'll hear a sigh of relief on the phone. I'll hear someone chuckle. Well, that's more my speed. That's probably, yeah, boy, I could definitely do that. I don't know about 1 a week. But, Robert, I know I could get 1 person a month. Great. Let's sponsor 1 person a month for the next 4 months. You've now got 4 people again on your first level. Teach those 4 to do the same over the next 4 months. Very simple. You've now got 16 people on your second level. You're now making $780 a month after just 8 months of getting 1 a month and your downline getting 1 a month. Now, let's go to the 1.7% on the bottom. Let me ask you a question. What is more realistic you think will happen? That in the next 8 months, you're going to get over $500,000 from somebody that you're going to stick in the bank and earn $780 a month, or you're going to go out and find 4 people in the next 4 months to go build a business with you? What's more likely to happen? At that point, I'll get a chuckle as well, too. They'll go, well, only if I win the lottery. Ha, ha. That's great. All right, awesome. Because if you're making $54,000 a year, guess what I'm showing you right there? 10 years of income. Okay? So now I'm equating 10 years of working at a job with 8 months of working with me. So you see how people's minds start working and how the math works, how that's going to work for you as well, too. So again, whatever program you're in, use this format. This is a winning format for you to go out and show a presentation to anybody in any business at all that you're doing. Now, I'll show people those numbers I just showed you, and they'll go, man, you know, Robert, I want to make more, way more than $780 a month. Great. How about $3,900 a month? Super. You bet. $3,900 a month is over $46,000 a year. 90% of the people in the country today could come home from their job. Probably 2 people could come home in some areas. How do you do that? Level 1, you get 20 people. You're making $300 on level 1. Level 2, you got 80 people. That's 20 people who get 4. You're making $3,600 a month. On your second level, 300 plus 3,600 is $3,900 a month. At 1.7% interest at your local bank, you get that $2.7 million. Let's say your bank's really good at CDs and they're 2.5%, $1.8 million. Now I want to stop right here and I want to ask you this important question. I'm going to stop right here. I want you to stop everything you're doing right now. $3,900 a month is equal to $1.8 million. What if it took you 5 years working with me to get a group of 100 people in your business that paid you $3,900 a month? Would you do it? What if it took you 5 years for someone to write you a check for $1.8 million? Do you understand what I'm saying? This is how you get people to not only join with you, but how you get them to stick. Because when somebody comes in our business model for $9.95, this is the training I send them through. So they're getting to know, like, and trust me because the math doesn't lie. The math never lies. People lie. Websites can lie, right? Leaders can lie. Company owners can lie. But if somebody can sit here and knock out here on the calculator while I'm doing a call, and I hear people all the time doing a calculator, if they can map out on the calculator exactly what I'm saying, then what does that do to me? What does that do for you when you're talking to a prospect and you tell them $780 a month for 20 people, and then they go, let me do the math on that, and they go, you're right. What does that do for you immediately? It gives you credibility. They trust you. They start to like you and go, man, you may be onto something here, Robert. Now, it doesn't mean that they're going to join right then at $100. It may mean that that's step one. That's all they could eat today. They're full. And I've talked to people where they're so full of information that they never want to talk to me again because it's just too much. They have to take a week, a month off, and then they come back and join. I've had people I've talked to on the phone say, I'm going to come in tomorrow, and then they don't come in. Tomorrow's payday. Tomorrow's the 15th. I get paid, and I can definitely afford that $10, that $9.95. I'm going to come in. They don't join. Send them an email. Don't hear from them. Leave them a voicemail. Don't hear from them. A month later, they show up on my downline report, and they signed up, and I'll call them, and I'll say, hey, man, what happened? Just too much. I just had too much going on. See, they were full of information. And when somebody's full, stop trying to feed them. I'm going to say that again about marketing. If your prospect is full, stop trying to feed them because they'll just push away from the table and walk away. Let them eat at their own pace. And I'll say that again. Let your prospects eat at their own pace. I do. And that's how I'm able to sponsor, on average, over one person a day. Okay. I also like to show these numbers. $105 a month, you sponsor one who gets two. That's what I mean by 3 people gets $105, $73,000 in the bank. That pays for your membership. So when somebody says, hey, how fast can I build this thing? I go, do you know one person that needs leads and that has $10? Yes, I do. Well, you're on your way. Help them find 2 people, and you're a break even when they convert over. $780, group of 20, $547,000 in the bank at 1.7% interest. That's 4 who get 4 is $780. $3,900 a month. Sponsor 20 who get 4. That's what we call a group of 100. That's $3,900 a month, over $46,000 a year. At 1.7%, that's $2.7 million in the bank. Wouldn't it be great tomorrow to wake up and look at your bank account, and all of a sudden there's a little asterisk, red asterisk, and it says your CD account. You click on that CD account, and you see that number right here. See where my mouse is? 2.736842 in the bank. How would you feel tomorrow if you knew you had $2.7 million in the bank? Let's say that the bank said you can never touch it, but we're going to pay you 1.7% on that the rest of your life. How would you feel? You'd feel ecstatic. That's how I feel about profit leads, because I know it's the same thing because the money spends the same. So I treat my downline like a CD when it comes to the investment, the importance of it. I don't treat my downline like numbers, but I treat them as if they're as important as a $2.7 million CD in the bank. And when you start doing that, then you stop getting so upset when somebody says no. When somebody no-shows you on a call, when nobody's responding to you, that's what will keep you going and your drive going. $10,260 a month to sponsor 36 who get 6. That's what I call a group of 252 people. That takes $7.2 million in the bank at 1.7%. It's just nuts. That's $123,000 a year. So you can make 6 figures in profit leads with 252 subscribers to our system. So how much does it cost? $9.95 for 6,000 leads for a 30-day trial. We lose money on that order. Guarantee you we do every single time. And I'm more than willing to lose money on that first order because I know there's a large percentage of people that will stay on, and I understand my lifetime value of a customer. When you start looking at your network marketing business, whatever it is, what's the lifetime value of your customer? Do you even know? So that's, if you know the math, then you're able to do this. I know when I first did this, my wife and my accountant said, "Are you crazy? You realize you're not making any money on that first 30 days? And you realize, Robert, there's no guarantee they're going to sign up the second month, that they're going to continue on. What if their cards decline?" And I go, "I don't care." And they go, "What do you mean you don't care?" I go, "Because I know the lifetime value of my customer. So I'm willing to lose money the first month." Are you? Maybe you get a 30% fast start, 50% fast start in your program. What does it cost you per sign-up? So do those math, do those numbers, so then you know how you can adjust your promotions to attract more people in. Now, it converts to $99.95 starting the second month, or you can start at $99.95 option right out of the gate, and you get my book, my brand new book. You get my 12 Mastery Course recordings, and you get grandfathered into the top of the pay plan. Robert, what's your pay plan? I already forgot it. Here it is right here. A diamond, it's $1,545. But they also get 5% generational bonuses down 4 generations, and that saves you from having to go out and put in $10,000 in volume your first 2 levels. And that's limited to this to the deadline here on this website or on this webinar. It's limited to that time. So take action quickly. If you click on the order link and that's gone, then the time has expired for you. So how do you get started? You sign up now. That's how you get started. It's $9.95. I want you to risk on me today. Or $99.95. Get your old downline list out. Get with me, and we'll get them started. We'll get talking to those people. Get your current upline who you're working with, your crossline people, and your current downline list out. And call me for help at 405-833-6899. And I'll be able to help you start building your organizations, whatever your program is, getting your leads for free or getting a nice check from us. Because we don't compete with you, because we only pay on the first 2 levels. So you don't have to build an organization over here. It'll definitely build itself out. You start putting in 4, 8, 10, 12 people. So go to this website here tonight. I've got a special website set up for you, profitleads.com/signup. And if you go to that and you get signed up there, you'll see the 2 options. The 2 options that you have to go out and build a business. And if you're a distributor for us, already at Profit Leads, be looking in your back office in a training, and you'll be able to get these PowerPoint slides for your own presentation to show your own guests, your own prospects that you're doing. Thanks for being on the call tonight, everyone, and God bless.